What does it mean to be human? An eternal question that remains unanswered to this day. But what if the answer was always on the surface? What if a replicant could be more human than some people? Then, is it possible to say that he is a human or not? Where is the line between replicants and humans in the movie Blade Runner 2049? Our spiritual world consists of consciousness and soul, but what does it mean? First, let's figure out what consciousness is. Consciousness is our long-term experience that forms our personality, a collection of feelings, emotions, and memories. The ability to be aware of ourselves and the world around us. Consciousness is what allows us to see and hear, to think and feel, to perceive the world as we see it from birth. It's also important to note that consciousness is directly related to the work of the brain, and in the modern scientific context, consciousness is considered as a result of the functioning of the nervous system, as a kind of product arising from the interaction of a billion cells. So, theoretically, it's possible to recreate it. But what about the soul? Let's assume that a soul exists. Then, perhaps such a description could embody it. The soul is a metaphysical, spiritual concept. In religion, the soul is considered eternal, unchangeable, and bearing the inner essence of human, his true nature. To the question, does the soul exist? Humanity has been trying to find an answer for many years. Unlike consciousness, which can be studied and measured through objective scientific methods, the soul is a concept related to the inner world, spiritually and faith. Also, we can find many explanations for this in philosophy. The philosopher René Descartes argues that man consists of two entities, matter, body, and the soul. The soul here is the source of consciousness, thinking, and personality. It's not subject to physical laws and continues to exist even after the death of the body. But what if this is just a theory? What if there is no soul? What if we take cognitive errors of consciousness for the soul? Lines of code that didn't work due to the usual carelessness, haste, or ignorance. Are there any difference between humans and replicants? And then the soul is just a mistake of evolution? If so, what happens when we give to the replicant all six senses? Will he gain consciousness and will he have a soul? Let's assume that he has a consciousness based on a database from his creator. If we leave everything as it is, the error, our soul, will not appear. And here comes the most important part of any replicant, his memories. Without them, replicants would go crazy and realize their artificiality. As you know, memories are created by Anna Sterling, a person who hasn't seen the outside world due to illness and therefore creates them based on her imagination and feelings. It is a key to a region of the soul of a replicant. Of course, the creation of memories is outside the law and unlikely to appear, but unlikely doesn't mean impossible, does it? We know that Officer K plays a significant role because real memories are forbidden to be installed. But what will happen if we place human memories in a replicant? An echo of the soul will appear, which outgrow in something more, a new soul. We can see this in the film. The main character, Kay, is, as we might say, a copy of Anna, with the only exception that their roads are completely different. Is it possible to say that Kay is a human, or is he just a copy? A copy of the soul? Imagine that you have a chance to change one of your choices in the past. When you see yourself in the present, you look at your copy and realize that there is another person. Your life has turned in a completely different direction, and now it's not you anymore, but who? Another person? Or just a copy of you, but with different memories? This is how we see two copies of Anna in the film, as we are looking at two different stories of the same person. But the question is, are the same now or not? Who we are if not our experiences, feelings, losses and wins? Who we are if we take away everything that we have experienced and overcome? Maybe if we had made a different choice, we will be another person. But the choice is what makes us who we are. Perhaps this is the essence of a person, How Kay understands that he is a replicant, but still continues to do what seems completely illogical and reckless. By the end, Kay realizes that he is not a human, and not even a new type of replicant, but he acts like a human. He makes a choice that's not in a program, and by the end, he's not upset. He's accepted his nature, but he has something that looks almost impossible to have for an ordinary replicant. And in the end, he's dying, but he stays calm because he knows he is a replicant who will die as a human.